Welcome to part 68 of the book of Revelations, April the 13th, 2024, sorry. That about took us back a couple of years. But, you're not going to want to live in the world and be a part of the world if you're God's children, if you're His true Israel. Because let me tell you a secret. It ain't just about believing in Jesus and just believe only. Because faith alone is dead. Faith without works is dead. What you do with the dead thing? You take it out and bury it. That's exactly what you do. You take it out and you bury it. But see, if it was by faith, if it was just by believing that Jesus is God, Satan would be able to get in. And stay in. Because he knows who God is. And fears and trembles even. But he don't worship God. And in spirit and in truth. Why? Because he wants to be worshipped. He wants to be God. He wants to lord over everybody. You ever seen a woman with the Jezebel spirit that wants to lord over everybody? I grew up under that. I know what I'm talking about. Do I have that spirit? No. Do I want to tell you the truth? Yes. Will I tell you the truth? Yes. Why? Because that's what God has charged me to do. Is it hard for me? Yes. Is it harder now because I lost my husband? Absolutely. He helped me. He supported me. He loved me. And he stood by my side. I always stood by his too. Through thick and thin. That's what being married is about. Loving one another and having each other's back no matter what. Sticking together through thick and thin. Through all your craziness. It's hard when you don't have that anymore. It's very hard. It's a very lonesome road without someone to share it with. And that lonesome road could cause us to climb on to all kinds of weird stuff if we're not careful. If we don't clomb on to Jesus, we'll clomb on to any spirit that's floating around out there. Those spirits will lead us away from God instead of to Him. And that's the truth. But Satan, he believes that Jesus is God because he knows who He is. He's the deceiver, remember? Trying to deceive the world into believing that He's nothing more than just the Son. Trying to deceive the world into believing that He's still to come, that He hasn't come yet. All kinds of stuff. Do you honestly believe that the deceiver has fallen? He's still in a place of authority and power in high places. And he's still deceiving the masses. He has not been locked up yet. He's not in lockup yet. And if his time was only short, only 3.5 years. We just read that. 3.5 years, people. If this had happened in the beginning, that 3.5 years would be over, and none of us would be here right now. That's the point I've been trying to get across to y'all. This has not happened yet. No, I'm not trying to deceive you. I am trying to get you to understand the truth. Why? Because if you believe this has already happened, then the rest of this book is moot. There's no need to read it. There's no need to have it. If the war's over, then what are we doing still here? If this has all already happened, why are we still here? This has not happened yet. Because if this had happened already, that means the mark of the beast would already be. And you'd already be worshiping the beast. Because everyone who is on earth is going to worship that beast. The Bible says so. I covered that already. Now, let's get back into this. Rejoice. Therefore rejoice, you heavens. Recapping 12:12. Therefore rejoice, you heavens, and you that dwell in them. You that dwell in the heavens. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down to you, having great wrath, because he knows that he has but a short time. I'm going to go on down and show you where it shows his short time. And when the dragon saw that he was cast to the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child. How is the woman brought forth at today's time? Or how is the child brought forth? How is Jesus brought forth at today's time? Through the rebirth. Because he's being born again every day in those that will receive him. He's coming and they're being born again. He's coming into them and they're being born again with his spirit. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place where she is nourished for a time, and a half a time, from the face of the serpent. I mean, she's hidden away from his wrath, from the tribulation that he's bringing. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And the dragon was angry with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus. With the remnant of her seed, which is offspring. That means the offspring, that offshot from the true church, the apostles' church. He goes to make war with them. That keep the commandments of the Lord. Now, I can't show you any better, but I've showed you with verse 10 already. Has the kingdom of heaven come? That shows you the timeline of this. See, that's Satan's wrath. That's not God's wrath. God's children are not subject to his wrath. And he's not going to allow his children to go through his wrath, his obedient children. As a wise parent, many of y'all have children. You know better than to whip your good children just because your bad children being bad. You think God ain't wiser than you? You think God ain't wiser than you that he would move his good children out of harm's way while he deals with the bad ones? Talk about your negative reinforcement there. You don't whip a child that's being good. You whip the ones that's being bad. Now, we have done the flashback of Revelations 12, as I was supposed to. And so I will be getting back into the rest of Revelations, and we'll be starting from Revelations 20 in the next part. See you there.